Anger is a heavy weight to carry. It drains your energy, clouds your mind, and takes you further away from peace. But what if I told you that you never have to let another person upset you again? That you have the power to rise above irritation, frustration, and resentment? Today, I want to show you how to reclaim your inner peace so that no one, no situation, no words, no actions can disturb your harmony. The first step to never getting angry or bothered with anyone is to understand that no one controls your emotions but you. This realization is life-changing because it puts the power back in your hands. So often, we go through life believing that others have the ability to dictate how we feel. We think, they made me angry, they upset me, they ruined my day. But is that really true? Take a moment and reflect on this. If someone says something unkind, why does it affect you? The words themselves have no power. They are just sounds or letters arranged in a certain way. The only reason they stir something inside you is because of the meaning you attach to them. You interpret their words in a way that makes you feel hurt, rejected, or disrespected. But that response is your choice. The moment you realize that your emotions are dictated by your own thoughts, not by other people, you take back control of your life. Imagine walking down the street and a stranger yells an insult at you. If that stranger is someone you don't know, someone whose opinion means nothing to you, you might just shake your head and move on. You might even laugh at how ridiculous it was. But if that same insult comes from a close friend or family member, suddenly it stings. Why? Because you have given their words the power to define your worth. You have assigned meaning to their opinion. But the truth is, their words only have as much power as you allow them to have. Now let's go even deeper. Why do certain things trigger you while others don't? It all comes down to your internal beliefs and wounds. If someone calls you lazy, and deep inside you have no doubts about your work ethic, you won't be bothered. But if you've struggled with self-doubt, if you secretly fear that you're not doing enough, then that same word will trigger an emotional reaction. Not because the other person had power over you, but because they touched on something you already believed about yourself. This is where your true power lies. The more you heal your inner wounds, the less control others have over your emotions. When you become secure in who you are, you no longer need outside validation. When you love yourself deeply, you no longer feel hurt when someone doesn't. And when you trust yourself completely, no one can shake your confidence. You might be thinking, but what if someone truly does something hurtful? What if they betray me, insult me, or act with cruelty? Understand this. Their actions are about them, not you. You cannot control how others behave, but you can control how you respond. You can choose to react with anger, or you can choose to remain at peace. You can let their negativity infect you, or you can rise above it. This does not mean you allow people to mistreat you. It does not mean you tolerate disrespect or stay in toxic situations. It simply means you don't internalize their behavior. You don't allow their negativity to enter your heart and disturb your peace. Instead, you observe it for what it is, a reflection of them, and you decide that their behavior has nothing to do with your worth. The next time someone says something that would normally upset you, pause, take a deep breath. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Do I want to give this person control over my emotions? Most of the time, you will realize the answer is no. When you refuse to react, you keep your power. You stay centered in your own peace. The truth is, people will always have opinions. Some will be kind, some will be cruel. Some will support you, some will judge you. That is the nature of the world. But none of it has to affect you unless you let it. The key to emotional freedom is knowing that you are the only one who decides how you feel. So today, I encourage you to affirm, I am in control of my emotions. No one has the power to make me feel anything unless I allow it. I choose peace. I choose love. I choose to respond with wisdom and strength. I am free. And with this truth, you become untouchable. You become the master of your emotions, and no one, absolutely no one, can take that away from you. One of the most liberating realizations in life is understanding that nothing other people do is truly about you. It may seem personal, it may feel personal, but in reality, people's words and actions are a reflection of them, their thoughts, their beliefs, their wounds, and their experiences. When you stop taking things personally, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering. You no longer allow the opinions, moods, or behaviors of others to dictate how you feel about yourself. You become emotionally unshakable. Think about how often you take things to heart. A friend cancels plans, and you wonder if they don't value you. A coworker is short with you, and you assume they don't like you. Someone criticizes you, and you feel hurt or defensive. But what if none of these situations were about you at all? What if your friend was simply overwhelmed and needed rest? What if your coworker was dealing with personal stress? What if the person criticizing you was projecting their own insecurities? When you stop assuming that everything is directed at you, you gain a whole new perspective. People see the world through their own lenses, shaped by their past experiences, fears, and beliefs. If someone is rude to you, it is because of what is going on inside them, not because of who you are. A person who is at peace with themselves has no need to tear others down. But a person who is struggling, who is wounded, who carries pain, those are the people who react with negativity. When you truly understand this, you no longer take their behavior as an attack on you. Instead, you see it for what it is, a reflection of their inner state. Imagine a time when you were stressed or overwhelmed. Maybe you were short with someone, not because you disliked them, but because you had too much on your mind. Did your behavior mean they weren't good enough? Of course not. It had nothing to do with them. The same is true for others. People's reactions come from their own internal battles. When you realize this, you stop absorbing their energy. You stop carrying burdens that were never yours to carry. One of the most powerful ways to stop taking things personally is to develop inner confidence. When you truly know and love yourself, other people's words lose their power over you. If someone insults you but you are secure in who you are, their words do not affect you. If someone does not appreciate you but you value yourself, their approval is no longer needed. The more you build self-love and self-trust, the less you seek validation from the outside world. You begin to understand that your worth is not defined by how others treat you. It is defined by how you see yourself. It is also important to release the need to control how others perceive you. No matter how kind, thoughtful, or generous you are, some people will misunderstand you. Some will judge you unfairly. Some will dislike you for reasons that have nothing to do with you, and that is okay. Your job is not to be liked by everyone. Your job is to be authentic, to be at peace with yourself, and to live in alignment with your truth. When you detach from the need to be approved by others, you gain true emotional freedom. Another way to let go of taking things personally is to practice compassion. When someone is unkind, instead of feeling hurt, try to see them with understanding. Ask yourself, what must this person be going through to act this way? Often you will realize that their actions come from pain, insecurity, or fear. This does not mean you tolerate mistreatment. It simply means you choose not to absorb their negativity. You recognize that their behavior is about them, and you let it go. You also free yourself when you stop making assumptions. Many misunderstandings happen because we assume we know what others are thinking. We assume that if someone is distant, they must be upset with us. If someone doesn't respond, they must be ignoring us. But most of the time, our assumptions are not true. People have their own struggles, their own distractions, their own lives. When you stop overanalyzing and taking things personally, you experience greater peace and clarity. So the next time someone says something that triggers you, pause, take a deep breath. Remind yourself, this is not about me. Do not let their words or actions shake your self-worth. Do not allow someone else's bad mood to become your own. Instead, choose to remain centered. Choose to let go. Choose to focus on what truly matters: your own peace, happiness, and well-being. Today, affirm to yourself, I release the need to take things personally. I understand that other people's actions are a reflection of them, not me. I am confident in who I am. I do not seek validation from others. I choose to live with peace, love, and understanding. When you embody this truth, you become untouchable. You walk through life with grace. No longer affected by the opinions or behaviors of others, you radiate strength, knowing that nothing and no one has the power to disturb your inner peace. And that is true freedom. There is a deep sense of freedom in choosing peace over the need to be right. So often we get caught up in arguments, disagreements, and conflicts because we feel the need to prove a point. We want to defend ourselves, justify our actions, or convince others that our perspective is the correct one. But in the process, we create stress, tension, and emotional turmoil, both within ourselves and in our relationships. When you let go of the need to be right, you open yourself to a life of inner peace, clarity, and emotional balance. Think about the times you have engaged in an argument. Did it bring you joy? Did it truly add value to your life? Most of the time, our desire to be right comes from the ego, the part of us that wants validation, recognition, and control. The ego fears being wrong because it equates that with weakness or loss. But in reality, being right is often not as important as being happy. You have to ask yourself, do I want to win this argument, or do I want to keep my peace? This does not mean you do not have opinions, nor does it mean you allow others to walk over you. It simply means that you no longer feel the need to engage in battles that do not serve your well-being. You recognize that not every disagreement requires your energy. You begin to understand that your peace is far more valuable than proving a point. In relationships, the need to be right can be especially damaging. Whether it's with a partner, a friend, a family member, or a coworker, insisting on being right can create resentment and division. How many times have you seen people argue over small, insignificant details, only to damage the relationship in the process? When you shift your focus from being right to being at peace, you nurture understanding, connection, and mutual respect. You realize that it is okay to disagree. It is okay to allow someone else to have their opinion without feeling the need to change it. One of the greatest lessons in emotional growth is learning to listen without the need to respond. Instead of waiting for your turn to speak, you practice truly hearing the other person. Instead of immediately defending yourself, you take a moment to reflect. Sometimes, the most powerful response is no response at all. Silence can be a sign of strength. Walking away from unnecessary conflict is not weakness. It is wisdom. Choosing peace does not mean you suppress your thoughts or feelings. It simply means you become more selective about where you invest your energy. Not every battle is worth fighting. Not every disagreement requires your attention. When you learn to let go, you begin to experience a profound sense of liberation. You are no longer burdened by the need to control how others think, feel, or react. You allow people to have their own perspectives, and you remain centered in your own truth. This practice is especially important when dealing with difficult people, those who thrive on conflict, drama, or negativity. When you argue with someone who refuses to see another perspective, you waste your energy. It is like trying to convince a storm not to rain. Some people are not looking for understanding, they are looking for control. The best way to protect your peace is to disengage. You do not have to participate in every argument you're invited to. You do not have to attend every fight your ego wants to join. You always have a choice. Letting go of the need to be right also helps you develop a greater sense of humility. There is immense power in being able to say, I don't know everything. I don't have to win every discussion. I am open to learning, growing, and evolving. When you release the attachment to being right, you create space for deeper wisdom to enter your life. You become more open-minded, more compassionate, and more understanding. The next time you find yourself in a disagreement, pause, ask yourself, is this worth my peace? Will proving my point bring me genuine happiness, or will it only feed my ego? More often than not, you will find that walking away or responding with kindness is the wiser choice. Peace is not something that happens to you, it is something you choose. And the more you choose it, the more it becomes a natural part of your life. Today, affirm, I choose peace over the need to be right. I release the need to argue, defend, or prove myself. My energy is sacred, and I invest it wisely. I am free, I am at peace, and I am in control of my own happiness. When you embody this mindset, your entire world changes. You no longer waste energy on unnecessary conflicts. You no longer feel the need to convince others of your worth. You step into a life of calm, clarity, and deep inner peace. And in that space, you discover a kind of freedom that no argument could ever give you. Practicing compassion and understanding is one of the most powerful ways to create a life of peace, fulfillment, and connection. It transforms the way you see the world and how you interact with others. When you embrace compassion, you develop a deeper awareness of the struggles that people face, and you begin to respond to life with kindness rather than judgment. Understanding allows you to step outside of your own perspective and see things through the eyes of another. Together, compassion and understanding have the power to heal relationships, dissolve anger, and bring more love into your life. One of the most important aspects of compassion is recognizing that everyone is carrying something you cannot see. Every person you meet has a story, a past, and silent battles they are fighting. Some people may be struggling with pain, loss, insecurity, or fear, and they may not know how to express it in a healthy way. Their reactions, their moods, and even their unkind words may not be about you at all. When you remember this, you stop taking things personally. Instead of reacting with frustration or judgment, you respond with empathy. Think about a time when you were going through a difficult moment. Maybe you were overwhelmed, stressed, or dealing with something deeply personal. During that time, did you ever snap at someone, withdraw from conversations, or act in a way that didn't reflect your true self? If so, you can understand that others experience the same thing. Sometimes people act out of pain, not malice. They react not because they are bad people, but because they are hurting. When you choose to practice compassion, you give people grace. You allow space for their humanity. Compassion does not mean tolerating mistreatment or allowing others to take advantage of you. It simply means that you do not carry unnecessary resentment. You do not hold on to anger that only poisons your own heart. When someone hurts you, you have the choice to either react with bitterness or to let go with understanding. This does not mean excusing harmful behavior, but rather recognizing that holding on to negativity only hurts you in the end. Forgiveness is not about them. It is about freeing yourself. Understanding is another key part of cultivating inner peace. So often conflicts arise because people fail to see another person's perspective. We assume we know why someone acted a certain way, but we rarely take the time to ask, to listen, or to truly see beyond our own view. True understanding requires openness. It requires a willingness to pause, step outside of our emotions, and ask, what else could be going on here? When someone disagrees with you, instead of immediately reacting, try to listen. Try to understand why they feel the way they do. Everyone's beliefs and actions are shaped by their life experiences. No two people see the world the same way. When you stop expecting everyone to think and act exactly like you open the door to real connection. You begin to appreciate differences instead of resisting them. Practicing compassion and understanding also extends to yourself. Many people are kind to others, but harsh toward themselves. They judge their own mistakes, replay past failures, and criticize themselves for not being perfect. But true compassion begins within. You deserve the same love and patience that you give to others. When you make a mistake, instead of punishing yourself, learn from it and move forward with kindness. When you feel overwhelmed, give yourself the grace to rest and heal. The more you practice self-compassion, the more naturally it flows into your relationships with others. Compassion also means choosing love over ego. The ego wants to be right. It wants to defend, attack, and prove itself. But love seeks to understand, to connect, and to bring peace. When you find yourself in a disagreement, ask yourself, is my goal to win this argument, or is my goal to find peace? Often, when you let go of the need to be right, you gain something much more valuable: harmony, respect, and mutual understanding. This practice extends to strangers as well. A kind word to a cashier, a moment of patience in traffic, or a simple smile to someone who looks lonely can make more of a difference than you realize. You never know what someone is going through, and a small act of kindness can be the light they need in their day. Compassion is not just about grand gestures. It is about the small, everyday choices that reflect love and understanding. Today, affirm: I choose compassion over judgment. I seek to understand before I react. I release anger and embrace peace. I treat myself and others with kindness, patience, and love. When you make this shift in perspective, your entire world changes. Relationships improve, conflicts dissolve, and life feels lighter. You realize that kindness is not just something you give to others, it is a gift you give to yourself. Because when you live with compassion and understanding, you create a life filled with joy, harmony, and deep inner peace. Shifting your focus to gratitude has the power to transform your life in ways you may not have imagined. When you cultivate gratitude, you open your heart to joy, abundance, and inner peace. Instead of dwelling on what is missing, you begin to recognize and appreciate all the blessings that already exist in your life. Gratitude shifts your energy, your mindset, and your perspective. It lifts you out of negativity and helps you see that even in challenging times, there is always something to be thankful for. Life is not perfect, and there will always be things that could be better. However, when you focus too much on what is wrong, you miss out on what is right. Many people spend their days thinking about what they lack: the money they don't have, the love they are still searching for, the opportunities they feel they missed. But when you train yourself to focus on gratitude, you begin to see how much you already have. You start to appreciate the small, beautiful moments that make up your life. The warmth of the sun, the kindness of a stranger, the simple pleasure of a deep breath. Gratitude does not mean ignoring life's difficulties. It simply means choosing to see beyond them. Even in hardship, there is something to be grateful for. When you experience setbacks, you can be grateful for the lessons they bring. When you face disappointments, you can be grateful for the strength they build within you. Every challenge holds an opportunity for growth, and when you approach life with gratitude, you begin to see even the hard times as stepping stones to something greater. One of the most powerful ways to shift your focus to gratitude is by starting a daily practice. Each morning, before you get out of bed, take a moment to acknowledge a few things you are grateful for. It could be something as simple as waking up in a warm bed, having clean water to drink, or having a new day filled with possibilities. When you begin your day with gratitude, you set the tone for everything that follows. Instead of immediately focusing on stress or worries, you align yourself with positivity and appreciation. Another way to cultivate gratitude is through journaling. At the end of each day, write down 3 things you were grateful for that day. They do not have to be big things. Sometimes the smallest moments bring the most joy. Maybe someone gave you a genuine smile, or you received an unexpected kind word, or you simply had a peaceful moment to yourself. Writing these things down helps train your mind to look for the good in every situation. Over time, you will begin to notice that gratitude becomes your natural response to life. Gratitude also helps improve relationships. When you focus on what you appreciate in others rather than what you find frustrating, your interactions become more harmonious. Instead of dwelling on a loved one's flaws, remind yourself of their kindness, their support, or the moments they have been there for you. Express your gratitude to them. Tell them how much you appreciate them. A simple thank you can strengthen a relationship, build trust, and bring more love into your life. When you live in gratitude, you attract more things to be grateful for. This is because gratitude shifts your energy. When you constantly focus on what is missing, you send a message to the universe that you are in lack. But when you focus on what you already have and appreciate it fully, you create an energy of abundance. This energy naturally draws more goodness into your life. The more you express gratitude, the more life gives you reasons to be grateful. Even during difficult times, you can choose gratitude. When life feels overwhelming, pause and ask yourself, what is one thing I can be grateful for right now? It might be as simple as having breath in your lungs, the ability to move, or the fact that you have made it through challenges before. Gratitude does not mean denying your struggles. It means recognizing that even within them, there is still something to hold on to. Today, affirm, I choose to focus on gratitude. I see and appreciate the blessings in my life. I attract more abundance by being thankful for all that I have. My heart is open, my mind is peaceful, and I welcome every new day with appreciation. When you shift your focus to gratitude, you change the way you experience life. You no longer take things for granted. You stop waiting for something external to make you happy and realize that joy is found in the present moment. Gratitude is a choice, and when you make that choice daily, life begins to reflect the beauty, abundance, and love that have been there all along. Letting go and trusting the universe is one of the most freeing and transformative choices you can make. It allows you to release the burdens of control, fear, and resistance and step into a state of flow, where life unfolds with grace and ease. So often, we hold on to things, past hurts, expectations, worries about the future, because we believe that if we do not, everything will fall apart. But the truth is, when you let go, you create space for miracles. When you surrender, you open yourself to receive what is truly meant for you. Trusting the universe does not mean sitting back and doing nothing. It means showing up, taking inspired action, and then allowing things to unfold in their own time. It means understanding that you are always being guided, even when things do not seem to go your way. The universe has a plan for you, one greater than you can imagine, but you must be willing to release control and trust in the process. One of the reasons people struggle to let go is fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of disappointment. We cling to things because we believe they define us. We hold on to relationships that no longer serve us, jobs that make us unhappy, or expectations that drain us. But holding on out of fear only creates resistance. It blocks the flow of new blessings that are waiting to come into your life. When you release your grip and surrender, you allow the universe to work its magic. Think about a time in your life when something you desperately wanted did not work out, only for you to later realize that it was a blessing in disguise. Perhaps a job you thought was perfect fell through, only for a better opportunity to come along. Maybe a relationship ended, and in time, you discovered a deeper love for yourself or met someone who was truly aligned with your soul. The universe is always guiding you, even when you cannot see it in the moment. Trusting the universe requires faith. It requires you to believe that even when things seem uncertain, you are exactly where you need to be. It means knowing that every delay, every detour, and every challenge is leading you towards something greater. When you stop trying to force outcomes, you make room for better possibilities, ones that you may not have even considered. Letting go also means releasing attachment to how things should happen. Sometimes we get so fixated on a specific outcome that we close ourselves off to the infinite ways the universe can bring us what we desire. When you trust, you shift your focus from "how will this happen" to "I trust that it will." You affirm that everything is working out in your favor, even if you do not yet see the full picture. A powerful way to practice letting go is to shift from worry to gratitude. Instead of stressing over what is missing, focus on what you already have. Instead of fearing what might go wrong, appreciate what is going right. Gratitude aligns you with the energy of abundance. It reminds you that the universe has always provided for you and will continue to do so. When you trust in this truth, you no longer feel the need to control every detail. Another way to strengthen your trust is to listen to your intuition. Your inner guidance is always speaking to you, nudging you toward the right path. The more you tune in, the easier it becomes to recognize the signs the universe is sending. Maybe it is a feeling, a repeated message, or an unexpected opportunity that seems too perfect to be a coincidence. The universe is always communicating with you. Your job is to pay attention and trust the signs. Letting go also means forgiving yourself and others. When you hold on to resentment, anger, or regret, you keep yourself tied to the past. But when you forgive, you set yourself free. You release the weight that has been holding you back and allow yourself to move forward with an open heart. Forgiveness does not mean excusing bad behavior. It means choosing peace over pain. It means trusting that whatever happened was a part of your journey and that something better is ahead. Today, affirm, "I let go of the need to control. I trust that the universe is always working in my favor. I release fear and open myself to endless possibilities. I am guided, protected, and deeply supported." When you let go and trust the universe, you experience life in a new way. You feel lighter, freer, and more at peace. You stop struggling and start flowing. You realize that life is not something to be controlled, but something to be embraced. And when you do, everything begins to fall into place in the most beautiful and unexpected ways.